is capped brood, because that's, the capped brood, when it hatches, they will be nurse bees, okay? And nurse bees will take care of the queen, and also that means they're gonna be hatching right away, so the quantity will be there quick. Now, a frame that has capped all on one side, top to bottom, side to side, the bees that are under those caps, when they hatch, that'll be 1 pound of bees. Okay, so if you order a 2 pound or a 3 pound box of bees, that means that'll be equal to this much, and this side full, and one more side. That's 3 pounds when they hatch. Well, even when they're in there, there's a pound of them. Now, there's 25 cells to a square inch on a frame. It doesn't look like it, but there is. Anyway, I got another frame of good cat broods. I'm gonna put that, and these are gonna go right in the middle of that nuke box. Okay? Oh, something I forgot. Now, before you put these in there, you got to really look for the queen. Okay. Now I'm going to show you another way, and I maybe should show you first to keep from having to worry about putting the queen in there. But for now, we're going to say we're looking for the queen, and as long as we don't see her, okay, we'll put that in there. And the same way with this, you don't want to put the queen in that box. Okay. Now I'm going to find a frame of pollen. So I look in here and I found a frame, got quite a bit of pollen up here and around. Plus it's got some brood too, see, capped brood. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that one in there. And now I want a frame that's got some pretty good honey on it. So I'm gonna take this one, because that whole side is honey. And then I'm gonna take, sometimes I'll take, if I don't have a drawn out comb that's not used, I'll put a frame in that doesn't have anything, or frame it's all drawn out, but there's no brood or anything on it. Okay, and then that gives them something to lay the brood in. So that's your nuke box. And now I'm doing this with a queen that I bought, and I haven't got the queen yet. She's not due in for another week. Okay, so I'm going to let that nuke sit there for a week without a queen. So the bees are wondering, what are we going to do? We got to have a queen. So they're trying to come up with ways that they can maybe make a queen out of this brood I gave them, and that's another whole idea about giving them all capped brood. See, they can't make a queen with capped brood. I say they can't, but they probably would if they, if there's a way. But anyway, with the capped brood, it's harder to make a queen. So anyway, I go back in a week before I add the new queen. I got my new queen in the mail. Now I'm going to put her in the hive and introduce her. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at every one of these frames before I do that, and I'm just going to look. And what I'm looking for is a queen cell like that, okay? That means somehow they made a queen cell. There might have been an egg I missed that was in there, or a larva. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that, I'm going to pinch it, okay? That gets rid of that one. I keep looking, I don't find any more. So now I'm going to take my queen that comes in a cage, and I'm going to put her right in here, like in between the two frames that's got brood in there, and I'm going to put it in there in the way you put it. You put the cork up, the hole up or down, Jared? I'm going to put yours down, right?
So they don't get stuck in. So
okay.
You don't want someone to get stuck in there.
No, I think you do it up, don't you? That way, if something dies, they can come down.
I put it sideways.
Sideways. You just do it sideways, then you don't have to worry. But anyway, the whole point of this is they have gone a week without a queen. Now, they're going to want that queen so bad. So, and they're going to they're almost hopeless to get one, and man, all of a sudden one appears, you know. Okay, got a question?
Why wouldn't you want them to keep the one they made? Like if they made a queen, why?
Well, it's still in the hive.
I know, but if they made, like if
Well,
they managed to make
okay.
one.
You could do that, but you don't know how good a queen that's gonna make. Now, these ones I buy, sometimes them are not, you know, you get a bad one on them too, but at least you know it's supposed to be a good one. And if they made a queen cell in here on what I didn't think had the means to do it, it's probably a real poor, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Because every day past the first day of the larva stage, they get the chance of being a good queen are worse and worse.
Oh.
They you know, the older they get, the worse queen. The ideal time is on day 1 of the larva, which is when the egg hatches. Then
Okay.
it turns into larva. And they're hard to see because it's like breaking an egg in a pan. You can't, they have no form. It's just, I call it ooze. Like, it's an ooze. Okay, now I got that nuke box, okay. And then, of course, I got it in a cool place. Oh, also, you want to feed them 1-to-1 syrup anytime you ever want to introduce a queen. Plus, anytime I make up a nuke, I always feed them 1-to-1 because bees that are full are usually happy bees also. So, now.
Less likely to sting you.
Huh?
Less likely to sting you when you're adjusting the
Well,
faceplate.
It probably don't hurt nothing. It wouldn't hurt. But, okay, now I'm going to show you. I probably should have showed you this the first time. But, okay, now. Okay, I'm gonna take the bottom box away because it doesn't have any bees in it. I mean, it's got bees, but it doesn't have any brood or anything. So I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna reverse it. Okay, put it on top. So I'm gonna take it off, and then I'm gonna put this one at the bottom. Now I want to make up a nuke again, only I'm gonna make it inside the hive this time. Okay, instead of the nuke box. Now, I'm gonna take 5 frames out here. Now, mainly I just want to take 3 out because if there's honey up or in here, you know that I'm gonna need the honey anyway. So I'll just go ahead and take out the 5 and I put them in the middle. Okay, so I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna take the frame cap brood and I'm gonna take all the bees off of it. Okay, down in there, and I'm gonna put it. Now this is in the top box, and then I'm gonna find another frame of cap brood. I'm gonna take all the bees off. What I'm doing is I'm pretty much getting the queen off. It's not on there anywhere. I mean, you look as you're taking them out, kind of, but then you take all the bees off, put it in there, and then put the frame of pollen and the frame of honey. And now I'm going to set this box back up on here. But before I do that, okay, now the frames I took out, I'm gonna kind of condense everything and then put the new frames out here that didn't have the brood and stuff on. Okay, now I shook all the bees off, so there's no queen up here. And I'm going to take this queen excluder, which is wire, and the queen can't get through it, although sometimes they can. But anyway, you put that on there, okay? Now, I'll take this box and I'll put it up on top. Now, I've got the 2 frames. Oh, something I forgot to do was, when I make that nuke up, I always like to take a 2 more shakes of bees that are on the cap brood and shake them in there, you know, so you're giving them a lot of extra nurse bees. There again, you gotta make sure the queen's not on there, so this way is kind of better because then you know the queen's not there when you make it up. This is one of the ways you can eliminate that problem of having the queen. But anyway, okay, I do that one day and then I close it back up and I'll come back the next day. Now, the next day I got my nuke box there and I'll take this frame, the ones I had ready to make my nuke box, I'll take them out. Now, when I take it out, it's just covered with nurse bees, okay? The nurse bees came up from the bottom, and they went through the queen scooter and just covered this frame. So I'm gonna put that in the nuke in the middle. And then the next one, same thing. See, that cap brood is just covered with nurse bees. No queen though. Put it in there, and then put your pollen and your honey in next to it. Pollen, honey, and an empty. Now you've made the nuke up again, and you didn't have to worry about finding a queen because you shook all the bees off. Oh my God. Okay. Now since this box now is pretty much, I got the nuke out, and I'm gonna put the empty frames. I'm gonna have to put 5 empty frames in there, okay, to replace that. Now this is going to be my second box for the next edition. So you want to feed these guys and feed the nuke that we just made, and do that until 80% of these frames are drawn out with comb. Okay.
So the main reason you do it differently is just to make sure you don't have the queen.
Yeah, yes, it's more of a safeguard that you're not getting queen.
Can you split in, I understand the whole split there.
Yeah.
Can you split into a regular hive? Why you gotta do
Yeah, no, you can do it in a regular hive. That was another one I was gonna.
an extra 8-frame hive? I can just split. If I got drawn comb and stuff, I can.
Now, okay, in answer to your question, I'm gonna try to answer it, okay. Say this hive is, it's getting closer to swarming, okay? 'Cause, I mean, it's got a lot of brood down here and up here. So, instead of having to find a queen, you just take this queen excluder, put it on there like that, and then put this on. So now you've actually got 2 boxes now. I mean, that's actually a split. But this, well, okay, yeah, you could take a second box and put it on a completely new hive stand and to make a split with it. You wouldn't have to do this with the queen excluder. To do that, when you put it on the queen excluder, that's if you want to try to find the queen. Split them like that, put the queen excluder on, take this one off. So like say you wanted to know which box had the queen that you're going to split off, which you don't have to, but if you did want to know, by putting the queen scooter on for a couple of days, you go back in and she'll either be up here or she'll be down here. And then you'll know which one's got the queen. So then you got to figure out, am I going to introduce a queen I bought, or am I going to let them make one? So now if you're going to let them make one, you got to make sure there's eggs and larvae in there, okay? Because they can't make a queen with all capped brood. So that's another deal. You got to know kind of ahead of time that I've got larvae down here, eggs and larvae, and I got it up here too. So I'm just getting ready. I'm gonna split it, and then you let them make one. Or
So I've read it 2 different ways where a lot of people, when they do a split, they just buy a queen and put it in, then you don't lose any production.
right.
Because you lose 45 days. And I also heard the best queens are the queens the bees make.
Okay.
themselves.
Now,
So is there
if
any,
you put a queen in there and there's a queen in there, that queen will kill the new one you put in there. I don't care how you try to introduce her. So that's why.
The queen was part of the, if you have them make their own, they're gonna go 45 days.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes.
So, all depends, there's a little bit of risk, maybe the queen doesn't
hive makes themselves are better, just as good as any queen that you can buy?
I think production-wise, yeah, they tend to be meaner.
Long as it's a good queen to start with. Now, if you're trying to make a good queen out of one that's not good, there's a pretty good chance it's not gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? That's why you only wanna do that with a good hive, good queen hive.
Gotcha.
Yep. Yep. And here's another thing to think about. When say your hive swarms, you know, you didn't get in there in time to save it from swarming, and it swarmed, okay. When they swarm, they take out a whole bunch of honey with them. Okay, but if you look in that box, there will be gobs of capped brood. I mean, there'll be, heck, there might be 8-10 frames of capped brood, okay? Now, when the bees swarm, the bees that are left have nothing, they have no brood to take care of. So what are they gonna do? They're gonna go out and get honey. So your honey, it actually increases right after the swarm because that's all they have to do. They just go out and get honey. So they'll really fill that thing up, you know, quite a bit. So sometimes you don't lose a lot of production as far as honey. Because, and then when all that brood hatches, I mean, it's all nurse bees. So, I mean, and in the meantime, of course, the queen's gonna hatch and go out. So.
What was the cycle for the bee of what their jobs are?
I
Like
don't
so many
really know.
days was
I know
this
the
job
first-
and so many days is that job. What was that
Yeah,
cycle?
when they're first born, the first job they do is they're nurse bees. They take care of help take care of the brood and the cells, and they clean them out. They have to clean their own cell out when they hatch, kind of like us making our bed when we get up in the morning. And then that's the job they do for, I don't know, a couple weeks or whatever, but I don't know what they do after that. I mean,
Well, the last job they do is going out for
yes.
collection of honey,
Yes.
collection of pollen and stuff.
Foraging. Foraging is the last job they do, and that's why they die so young, is because it wears them out. All they do is go out, get honey, come back, pass it off, go back out, get another load, come back. In and out, in and out. Now, if they're going out and getting pollen, when they come back with that, they put it in their cell. So they actually have to go in the cell and pack it in there. But when it comes to honey, they have receivers inside the hive that the foragers will pass it off to them, and then they turn right around and go right back out again, just non-stop. I don't know how many trips a day they can make. I guess it depends on how far away it is. But they're amazing. Are there any other questions about making nukes? Yeah, go ahead.
Are the queens you ordered made?
They are, yeah, yep.
So the advantage of buying a queen over raising one that's you cut your time.
Well, yeah, it
in half
increases
to
the
make a queen.
turnover time, you know, by, I don't know, probably a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, you know, it takes 16 days for the queen to hatch, and then it takes a week for her to mate. If she gets it done then, maybe 2 weeks. And then it takes another 21 days before her first, once she starts laying, for the first brood to hatch.
Then a martin might eat her. when she
That's
gets
right.
out.
Purple martin might. They said they love. If you got a purple martin by you, they say your chances of queen returning is pretty slim. Now I've got a neighbor right across the road who's got a purple martin, but you know what? I mean, I do have trouble sometimes, but I can usually get one out there. Yeah, that's what I need to do. No, I can't do that.
No.
I can't do that. But there's a lot more I wanted to say, but I'll have to leave it for another day. Oh, I had these, I've got these, here's another thing you can do. If you've got a hive that's kind of weak or maybe it's a little bit, you know, not as strong, you can actually put it on top of another hive that is strong with a double screen board. This double screen board has screen and screen with a 3/4 inch piece of wood in the middle. And what the idea is, when this is on there, you can have one of the best queens in your hive that there is, but with this on there, the bees can't touch each other, okay, because they're separated by 3/4 of an inch. So if they can't touch each other, that's the way they communicate that there's a queen in there. So as far as they're concerned, this hive is completely separate from this one. And you can just imagine all the heat and everything and the fumes and everything coming up through here to this hive up here. It just increases the time that they, now like if you want to make a new nuke up or a new hive, you know, you're talking about splitting it. If you put one up here above queen, double screen, they'll share the heat and everything. I mean, you may lose the foragers, they'll probably go back down to whichever box has the queen.
So, do you put the stronger hive on the top or the stronger hive on the bottom?
No, I'd have the stronger one on the bottom. That way the heat, you know, is coming up here. Yeah, only put it on one that's strong. But anyway, if anybody, and it's only got, okay, there's one entrance here, and then usually I turn that around to the back, okay? Turn the entrance to the back, that way at least it's coming out the opposite side.
So you put the queenless split on top of that,
Yeah.
screen bottom board?
Yeah.
If
You
you're right,
can, yeah.
your own
I
queen.
did this a couple of years ago. You can take the queenless nuke that you make up and have it in a 10 frame deep and have it up here for that week or whatever for that week I said to let them go and then go ahead and introduce the queen after a week and leave it on here. Just leave it on there. And that nuke you make up will advance so much because of the extra heat and everything. It's just, and then of course you gotta feed it still. You have to put a feeder up here. But like if I'm making nukes up and it's pretty cold weather, I'll do that. You know, I'll make them on top of another one. That's what I bought these for, but I bought way too many. And I only ended up with about half that I decided to keep. So if anybody would like to buy one, I got a bunch of them. They're $20 a piece, and they're brand new, and then I painted them and everything. So, but,
Can I pay you later?
huh?
They're on Scout Road, they don't have the 6 openings?
They got, yeah,
So,
the openings on them, yeah. Which openings you talking about? One you
Scout Road's at the top and the bottom on 3 sides.
Oh, that's one too. I had Derek over at Van Day make these for me because what I was gonna do with them. And now you don't have to have, they don't have to have this big a screen on them either. It can have, you can have like just a couple of circles in there. You know, which is what some of the commercial guys do. They make them up with just a couple of circles in there. But anyway, I just threw them on there. I hope I haven't confused you more than what helped you maybe. I mean, there's so much.
yeah.
Is that the end of your presentation?
Thank you,